So we have the property line. It's a simple thing here. Well, it's going to be very slow, so let's do slowly this process. First thing, just to remind you of you have these symbols which are the elevations. Don't have them. Oh, yeah, crazy. Don't have them here in the middle. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll try our best. Don't have them here in the middle. Do not place them always outside and making sure that they're looking to a future building inside of this property. Do not separate the triangle in relation to the square. Try to have them all together. Remember that if you, I'm going to Control C that, if you select the triangle, you get this plane. That actually is like a cutting plane. So that's from that point you're looking into the project. So imagine that plane moved here. Okay, that will mean that this elevation is looking from here that way, which will be pretty much like a section. So that's a classic problem. So just make sure that that's correct where it should be. Another thing is that this is appearing here because we're in the side view. That's actually the 0, 0, 0 coordinate. Okay, we need to have it there. And let's start with the project north, true north. So by default, if you don't select anything, under the properties, you are on the project north here. Okay, we need to shift or change, rotate, whatever you want to call it, the true north. So we need to set it to true north first, and changes there. And for whatever reason, this true north is looking in a different direction. We need to place it properly. So to place the true north in a proper place, you go to Manage, and you go to Position, and Rotate True North. Okay. If you press that, automatically pops out this kind of a rotation. You have to click 2 times, once, and it says, I'm not sure if it's properly done, here, twice. Okay. It's probably a little bit aggressive, but what you could do, I'm not going to do it because this computer is about to die, is insert an image of a Google Drive. Actually, I have it here. Let's just do it very fast. I have the Oasis map. Okay. And you can just construct a couple of lines. You go to Architecture, you create a model line. Oh my gosh. And you draw from this point. Obviously, it's not exact, but it's much better than what we had before. Okay. We use this line that I just created, and I'm going to move it, MV, or going to this moving button. And you move it, snap into that point, and you place it in the center here. Okay. Good. So now that we have that, we know exactly where the true north is. So we just need to go make sure again this is true north. So Manage, Position, True North. We say, hey, this line is supposed to be here. Okay. Now we can delete this, and we can even delete the image. This is a proper true north, and the site plan should be presented, from my understanding, like this. Now we don't want to work like that in the rest of the drawings. We want to work in their project north. So if you go to level 1, that should be set to project north. If you want it for whatever reason turn it into true north, it will make the same rotation, and that becomes like a very useful tool. Okay, great. We have this line. I'm going to go actually to project north to send it back to the conceptual massing. Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to actually go and grab it. I'm going to export CAD format. You can do DWG or DGN. Actually, it doesn't really matter much. It's going to open this window. You say next, and you can take it to a folder you have control, and you can call it base site, etc. You can say OK. I forgot to mention, because I used to say it so much in Building Tech 3, is that you always should save as oftentimes, and save it as with different dates, so you know in what states you are. You might be working in a computer that crashes, so you can always save as, keep a that old saving as file into your flash drive, whatever you want, etc., etc. So as you can see, as I'm recording Revit is not working as it should. So just to export this, I just tried it at home and it took like 2 seconds and a half. It's going to take a minute or so. There is coming. Got it. Nice. Let's put it back to true north. This is nice. Let's actually, I'm not going to save it as, but you should save it as, because if I save, we're going to be all day here. And what we're going to do is create a new conceptual mass, okay? New conceptual mass. We have only this element to select. We say open. It's going to take like a long time. And here we have to somehow insert. We go to insert, import cat, make sure that it's origin to origin, and we just need to say the DGN. If you have DWG, you select DWG. You say okay, open. And it should bring the same line and in relationship to the 0, 0, which is what really matters at the end of the day, is to maintain that 0, 0. I would recommend once you have this line, is to select it. As you can see, if I select it, it comes like a block, something. It's the same as if you insert AutoCAD lines in your project. If you insert AutoCAD lines, they come all together and grouped like this. If you select it, you can always say explode. But that doesn't explode it entirely. Explode is one level. There's actually two explosion levels. This is like a word or something. You have to click explode again after selecting. So you can select once, or you can select by escape, by tabbing a specific line. Another thing that I recommend is that these lines should be converted to the proper ones. So if I select these lines, you can go to subcategories and select here form projection. So they come like a normal and clean lines, typical of the conceptual massing, okay? This is the time to save it. And not only save it, I will recommend saving. Call it like a base mass. And I would recommend always having this to share with the rest of the group. So if you want to mess with this, I would recommend saving as family. And let's just say base is not a base anymore. Let's call it test zoning mass, for example. So in the previous one, in the base mass, you can start thinking of your volumes. Now you can create the volumes as you did in the first assignment, but now you know that you have to kind of be in relationship to an envelope. That's what we're going to do now. And this zoning one, we're going to do the envelope, okay? Now I happen to have some of, let me see, happen to have the zoning summary, and you are going to have it as well, so don't worry, with all the data included. It's not exactly correct, so be careful. But it's in Blackboard. If you go to resources, zoning, and you have this exact PDF with everything included, yet you have to triple check everything because there's a intentional couple of mistakes, okay? This is the professor being a bad person. So why am I bringing this out? Because I really need to create, a couple volumes in relation to the maximum base height, which is this one. I'm going to use a 125 feet. I'm going to need the maximum building height, 185. Actually, I'm going to use in the White Street 210 and 150 and 125. Those three are going to be major references to our mass model, okay? So I'm going to have it here in this other screen. So, we have the line already, so we just need to start extruding. As simple as, selecting the button create form appears. And also you could click that. And there you have it. You can take it up. If you didn't want to use reference planes, which is what I'm going to use now, you can always click on the number and give it, for example, like a 125, and that could be the maximum base height for a narrow street. Okay, that would be a way, but I'm actually going to Control C a couple times, and I'm going to do 3 reference planes. Remember we talked about this idea of a reference plane. If we touch a reference plane like this one, we draw something on that plane. So we can use reference planes also to measure parts of a mass as well. So the way you normally will do them is from the elevation. You click east. You will go to reference plane, and you can just place it whatever you think without being sure. Doesn't really matter because you can just select it and change the number here. And I'm going to place here the maximum base height for a narrow street. According to my data is 125 feet, and it changes. Okay, I'm also going to place a dimension, create a line dimension from here to here, and just escape there, and make sure that it's okay. I like it. I'm going to create another reference plane. I'm going to select it. I'm going to place the maximum base height of a wide street, 150, meaning 25 higher than this one. So we can click there, and we can change that to 25. No? And 210 for the maximum height of a building. Okay, 210 feet. Another reference plane. 210 is actually is 15, 25 more as well, I believe. No, wait. It's 50 plus 10, 60 more. So we can change that to 60. And we got it. We can place a couple dimensions. Shortcut for dimension is DI, so you can go from here to here. And this is only to triple check the things are correct. 210, 150, 125. Okay, we can go to the 3D. And now we have the reference plane. Even though they look like a plane, they actually, sorry, like a line, they are actually planes if you select them. Okay, so now we can select this. We can create form. And we can just move it up, and it kind of snaps automatically. You see how it says snap? And you can click here to say, hey, I want to constrain there. You know, I don't want to move that. I want to make sure that that's properly done there. Now, from there on, I think you pretty much should know the steps. We know that we can select this plane by tabbing. You select it, it becomes blue, and you can draw on top of it. So in order to do offsets, we will probably create a line here. We offset it to the right, and then we will enclose the polyline. No? I'll do that in the next recording.